Movie marketing is, of course, intended to sell a film to audiences by any means necessary, and sometimes that might just include a sneaky shot from a movie that doesn't actually end up in the film itself. I'm Will for What Culture, and here are 10 awesome movie trailer moments that were cut from the film. 10. Ethan flies a chopper into traffic. Mission Impossible Fallout. Though one could be forgiven for assuming that a blockbuster as action-packed as Mission Impossible Fallout left nothing on the cutting room floor, that's actually not the case at all. The film's trailers showcased 2 high-wire action beats that were suspiciously absent from the film, the more memorable of which saw Ethan Hunt flying a damn chopper low to the ground and almost colliding with an oncoming truck. This is presumably taken from the film's lengthy climax, where Ethan indeed commandeers a chopper, though there's no word on why director Christopher McQuarrie cut such an insane-looking moment. He also removed a sequence earlier in the movie, where Hunt is seen swinging around a nightclub after the cable he uses to rappel down appears to snap. 9. Jason Statham deflects a rocket with a tea tray, the Transporter. The original trailer for Jason Statham's 2002 star vehicle, the Transporter, features a gloriously absurd moment which was infuriatingly left out of the final cut. The snippet in question shows Statham's highly skilled mercenary, Frank Martin, having a gigantic rocket fired at his face, only for him to use a nearby tea tray to deflect the rocket away from him. It's a ridiculous moment for sure, but completely in tone with the rest of the movie, which is hardly a bastion of gritty, plausible action. Despite its show-stopping placement in the trailer, the scene was reportedly cut due to none other than Statham himself, who felt that audiences simply wouldn't believe such a physically impossible act. 8. The Thing drops out of a plane. Fantastic Four 2015. Josh Trank's 2015 Fantastic Four reboot was a mess of biblical proportions, and whether you blame Trank's reportedly volatile behavior, or Fox's desire to shape the film into just another formulaic superhero flick, or more likely, a bit of both, a ton of trailer footage was undeniably left on the cutting room floor. The most prominent and frustratingly omitted sequence from the marketing involved the Thing being dropped out of a plane, falling through the air, and landing in the middle of a nondescript base where all hell breaks loose. Reports indicate that the original plan was to have the team's horrifying transformation scene lead directly into an action sequence which shows the Thing being dropped into a rebel camp and, at the behest of the US government, wiping them out. Due to the strained relationship between Trank and Fox, the two sides couldn't ever agree on a final version of the scene, and so it was cut, despite looking like the most spectacular part of the entire movie. 7. Bond throws a Molotov cocktail. The Man with the Golden Gun. The first teaser trailer for The Man with the Golden Gun showcased extensive footage of a prolonged showdown between 007 and villain Francisco Scaramanga on the shore of his island. We see Bond chasing Scaramanga around the island as the two exchange witty barbs, culminating in 007 throwing a Molotov cocktail-like explosive and shooting it in mid-air, causing it to burst into flames. The film was reportedly cut due to pacing issues and would have led into the film's theatrical funhouse climax set inside Scaramanga's mansion. Curiously, the Molotov cocktail was apparently a martini shaker gadget given to Bond by Q during another one of the film's deleted scenes. 6. You have to make the money to buy a ticket. Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is one of those rare movies where everyone involved seems to make every correct creative choice, ensuring the end result is an uncommonly fierce thriller with an Oscar-worthy central performance from Jake Gyllenhaal. The film's primary trailer featured a memorable moment which sadly didn't make the cut though, a mantra-like refrain spoken repeatedly throughout the trailer by Lou Bloom. If you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy a ticket. Though Bloom says the line once at the start of the movie, the increasingly intense repetition of the line, featured in several scenes during the trailer, is nowhere to be seen in the final cut. Now, it's possible that writer-director Dan Gilroy felt that the repetition would seem excessively phony and contrived at feature length, as though he were trying to will an iconic movie line into existence. But considering what a great line it is, he certainly would have been forgiven for the indulgence. 5. Tire flying towards car. Twister. Twister may not be a great movie, but it is a lot of fun, and by raking in just shy of $500 million worldwide, it became the second highest grossing film of 1996. That success is in large part due to a marketing campaign which, much like the movie itself, trained its focus on spectacular visual effects-driven mayhem rather than nuanced characters. The fantastic original trailer did an excellent job of selling the destructive terror tornadoes can cause, emphasizing the, at the time, cutting-edge, Oscar-nominated VFX showcase. Yet, after the trailer flashed up the movie's title, the marketing team tacked on an added stinger, showing a tractor being thrown to the ground by the tornado, one of its tires breaking off, and then flying directly towards the audience's perspective. It's an awesome shot, which brilliantly solved the film's immersive potential, only for it to not actually appear in the final film. 4. Chloe stabs herself in the face. Slender Man. While few were expecting a genuinely good piece of cinema from the years too late Slender Man movie, the trailer at least suggested it would offer up some gnarly death scenes for fans to savor. Particularly notable was the cringe-worthy apparent demise of Chloe, who in the trailers was shown stabbing herself in the face with a scalpel during biology class. We don't see the bloody outcome, but we do see flecks of blood splatter all over one of her classmates. If nothing else, it sold the visceral horror of people being unable to fight back against Slender Man's control. But this, and several other promising set pieces from the trailers, were ultimately cut from the final film. The precise reason for this has never been disclosed, though rumors have persisted for years that it was either due to backlash surrounding the real Slender Man stabbings, or that Sony wanted to guarantee a PG-13 rating to make as much money as possible. 3. Stallone jumps a 40-foot gap. Cliffhanger. The trailer for the 1993 actioner Cliffhanger did a frankly marvelous job of promoting the high-octane, sweaty-palmed thrills of this legendary Sylvester Stallone starring suspense flick. But there's one beat which the studio ultimately decided might have been a little too much for its own good, and that's the insane climactic moment in the trailer where Stallone's protagonist Gabe Walker takes a running jump and leaps around 40 feet between two cliff faces. Even for an action hero of Stallone's caliber, it was ridiculous. And because test audiences reportedly laughed at the scene in question, TriStar made the decision to reshoot a shorter version of the jump, which looked considerably more realistic. Even so, in a movie like Cliffhanger, is anyone really that married to the idea of physical plausibility? It's a tremendously entertaining film all the same, but watching Sly defy physics and basically will himself across a canyon would have been a truly glorious sight to behold. 2. Kylo Ren flexes his lightsaber. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Teaser trailers don't get much more hype than Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which achieved the near Herculean feat of getting even the most cynical Star Wars fan excited for what looked to be a gorgeous course correction for the franchise. By far, the standout shot was that of Kylo Ren walking through a forest with purpose before igniting his distinctive crossguard lightsaber in the most badass way possible. It seemed like a given that such an impossibly cool shot would be included in the final movie, so fans were left beside themselves when it was nowhere to be seen. Abrams certainly loves to toy with audiences, and beyond suggesting a far greater presence for Luke Skywalker than turned out to be the case, the director also had this gorgeous shot made specifically only to sell the movie. 1. The Joker pulls a grenade. Suicide Squad. If you know anything at all about the messy post-production of the original Suicide Squad, you'll be aware that countless scenes featured in the film's many trailers were ripped out by Warner Brothers, who, following the critical and commercial disappointment of Batman v Superman, were left panicking over Suicide Squad's final cut. One of the most common complaints about the theatrical release is the baffling lack of the Joker, who appears for basically an extended cameo throughout the film. One of the most distinctive trailer images showed the tuxedo-clad clown prince of crime with a burned face as he pulls a grenade pin with his teeth and shouts bye-bye. A few years after Suicide Squad's release, the director David Ayer explained on social media that the full sequence involved the Joker making a deal with Enchantress to become the King of Gotham, but Harley ends up choosing the Squad over him, causing him to make an explosive exit. And there you have it, folks, 10 awesome movie trailer moments that were cut from the final film. Feel free to drop this video a like if you enjoyed it, and drop me a follow on Twitter at @YouSlyDogU. I'm Will for What Culture, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.